Hey y'all, welcome in or welcome back. Today we are going to be addressing a few different topics. We're going to be continuing on from my last video where it was like mental health. The main topic was mental health. And I'm going to be providing a tool that people can use to try to address trauma, shame, guilt, blame, all that kind of stuff without necessarily having to make amends outwardly or like kind of like what, So like what I've been doing is being out in the public eye and trying to, be vulnerable and spewing all my whatever's out there, right? And that can help people, okay? By sharing your story, this, and that. But for a lot of people that are extremely introverted and stuff, it's just way too out of their wheelhouse of comfort, and they're never going to get there. They might not ever get there. It'd be very hard for them to get there. And, there has to be other ways for people to access ascension that doesn't include what I'm doing, all right? But I want to start off by saying I just watched, I guess you could call, is it a podcast? What is it even called? I don't even know what their show, hold on, let me see. What is their show called? Well, it's on the Leo King. The episode 98, The Currency of Self-Worth. The one person on that show, Scott, I think his name is, he was talking about how being authentic and trying to actually like make changes and stuff to evolve. And I found it funny because he was saying it like right after you see Leo King like huffing on the freaking vape. Yeah. But anyway, like he don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he doesn't give a fuck about anything. I'm just saying as far as that kind of thing goes. Okay. And so anyway, he was saying, this Scott guy was saying that he had made amends by reaching out to somebody he bullied in middle school, and like after he did this he saw like almost immediate results. I don't quite remember exactly what he said because I was kind of like shocked. I was like, what? Somebody did something like that. And he said he saw like immediate results with like getting some type of reciprocation from the universe, with like somebody coming to him and making amends with him, or I don't know, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I was just absolutely stunned, and I was just like, wow, like that warmed my heart like so much. So good job, you got an A+, buddy. Okay. The universe says you got an A+. Okay. So yeah, that was very touching moment there. Not one I feel or see often at all. Second thing I wanted to bring up was, I don't know if y'all seen about the Kilauea volcano that's currently erupting in Hawaii. It's apparently Pele, the goddess Pele or whatever. I don't know, is she a goddess? She like rules over it or whatever. The story there is pretty messed up. It's like her sister went to go get her lover, who was like a prisoner of war or something. I'm not sure what the whole story is. I didn't get too into it, but the sister pissed her off somehow for some reason. So then she went crazy and did some shit. I don't know. But I guess, let's see. Hold on. Let's just look. Alright, so Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of fire and volcanoes, has two main distinct sister narratives. A volatile, destructive rivalry with her older sister, Namaka o Kahai, goddess of the sea, and a complex, loyal, yet testing relationship with her youngest sister, oh god, I'm not even gonna say that. I can't say that. The goddess of hula and fires. Pele and Nama. How do people say this stuff? Oh my gosh. I can't say any of this stuff. Alright. The conflict. Long ago, Pele fled her home in Tahiti due to a rivalry with her sister, Nama. I'm just going to call her Nama. Who was married to a sorcerer that Pele seduced. The chase. As Pele traveled across the Pacific to Hawaii, Nama pursued her, creating massive ocean waves and floods to extinguish Pele's fire and destroy her homes on each island. Pele sounds like a fucking asshole. Why do people like worship her or whatever? I don't understand this. Final refuge. Pele finally found sanctuary on Hawaii Island with the Halima whatever at Kilauea. The constant opposing actions of their elemental forces, lava making new land and sea eroding it. Define the Hawaiian landscape. Okay. The quest. Hayaka is Pele's favorite and youngest sister who often tends to the volcano fires. Pele sent Hayaka on a difficult journey to Kauai to retrieve her lover Lohiau. I don't know, guys. The rivalry. While Hayaka was away, Pele grew impatient and believing Hayaka had betrayed her, destroyed Hayaka's forest and killed her best friend Hopa. Wow. Yeah, see, she's a fucking psycho. Who's this bitch? The reconciliation. Heartbroken and enraged, Hayaka defied Pele, challenging her authority and bringing a balance of destruction and regeneration to the land through their interactions. Okay. So there could be some type of like primordial sibling rivalry going on, which from my stories I've been telling definitely is a thing. I guess in this narrative I would be like the sea sister, and then so, but scientifically speaking, what I found interesting, I posted a live video of the eruption of this volcano on my enlightenment videos, and this scientist, I believe he's a scientist, he seems like one, he does singing bowls though, which is so cool. He did a singing bowl thing. He was discussing all the logistics of everything with the volcano, and I found it interesting from what I understood, because it was a lot of like technical jargon that I really am not too privy of, and my ADD was not having it. Okay, let's just be fucking 100 here. But from what I understand, he was basically saying that this volcano is, I think he was saying it's a theory, but it's like a very plausible one. It's essentially what they're theorizing is that it's connected to like all the other lava flows. So from what I was getting was that it's acting as a pressure relief valve, which would in theory prevent like the super volcanoes from exploding. So it's acting as like a pressure release. Because, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure building up. There's a lot of people that, from what I understand, are holding back their schmexual energy and stuff, myself included, which in turn would cause a big buildup. So, as above, so below. As within, so without, right? So, it's like something's got to give, and it might just be a super volcano at the end of the day. And is that sad? Does that, is that really the outcome any of us want? I don't think so. Is it gonna happen? It could. Maybe the tyrannical dumbasses that are running shit should wake the fuck up. But that's all I gotta say about that. Okay. All right, systemic failure and prevention. So this is a methodology that I was thinking about that might help people, is by essentially writing like an essay, okay, about something, a topic, and these are various topics that people can use to address difficult situations they've been in their life that may have caused trauma, like PTSD, that may have caused immense guilt or shame or blame for themselves or someone they love, someone close to them, etc., etc. And these topics, in my prompt that I wrote, I said, like, you know, can you please provide me with topics that, like, don't have to have, so people don't have to, like, say, like, necessarily confess their sins or, like, call themselves out, so to speak, right? But rather reframe the narrative so that it provides a solution to prevent these issues from happening again. That kind of thing. Okay, so prompts that help someone explore how structures, institutions, or norms contributed to harm. Yeah. Analyze a policy, workplace norm, or institutional practice that unintentionally enables abuse, burnout, or silence. Propose reforms that would create safer conditions. And you can use, you know, like, obviously you can use AI to help you, like, come up with, like, you would ask for peer-reviewed studies, so preferably 2 or more. You'd say, can you please provide references on this topic and an outline of an essay on this topic, and then, you know, and then you go from there. You can even ask them to write a rough draft, and then you go through it, edit it for yourself, you know, type it out yourself and just edit it, tweak it with what you think it is and what you agree with, okay? And then that in itself is highly cathartic. And then you can even share that publicly if you'd like on a throwaway account or whatever, if that, you know, because that will add another layer of healing, because it just does, you know, it just does. You can even submit it anonymously to some blog, or submit it anonymously to some, say there's a channel that reads like stuff like this or whatever, you know. All right. Write about a cultural, and like the universe is watching, you know, source, God, higher power, higher self, the angels, whatever you subscribe to, that you believe in, spirit is with you, okay? And they're acknowledging it, and you're getting points for it, okay? And your dharma. This is what I was shown. This is what I believe in. This is what I honestly, like, know to be true. Okay? All right. So, I mean, and what's the harm in trying it out and seeing if it helps you? Like, what's the harm? Write about, okay, so next one. Write about a cultural expectation, e.g., don't make waves, be a team player, good parents sacrifice everything, and how it can pressure people into unsafe or unsustainable situations. Explore how organizations can better support people who witness wrongdoing but fear retaliation or disbelief. Examine the gap between written policies and lived reality in a setting you know well. What invisible barriers prevent people from seeking help? Propose a model for trauma-informed leadership in workplaces, schools, or families. Burnout, next topic, burnout, overwhelm, and human limits. Prompts that help someone reframe moments where exhaustion or depletion shaped outcomes. Discuss how chronic stress or caregiver burnout can impair decision-making, and propose community-level supports that would reduce this burden. Explore the myth of the self-sacrificing caregiver and how it harms both caregivers and those they care for. Excuse me. See, something I had brought up, like this interview in the last video I did, and in that idiot what? in that interview, they were reading, the host was reading somebody's like story, like their trauma story of them like growing up with like a parent that I guess would like be considered neglectful, whatever. And at one point they're saying something about the parent sleeping a lot. And just the tone of the host's voice and however he worded his response to that was basically saying, like, this parent's a piece of shit, scumbag, blah, 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 blah. Very, like, and it's such a common tone that I hear all the time is this, like, always just, like, rah, 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 towards people that are going through shit that, you know, and then they're perceived to be the villain. It's always, like, such a pitchforks and machetes moment for these perceived villains. And I really don't like that. Yes, some people are definitely assholes who continuously, they're aware of what they're doing and they continuously do it and they're proud to do it. Those are the real villains. But like a struggling mom who's probably got serious fucking issues, and you know, most of those moms that you see, or even dads, single dads or whatever, these parents in general, it is not easy being a parent at all, okay? And then to be a single parent, and then there are so many factors involved that could be causing problems in people's personal lives. Not even just parents, okay? There is technology that people have access to that can cause issues for others that they're specifically targeting. There is, you know, like, there's just all kinds of tactics that they use to purposely fuck with people. There's just, bullies are rampant. Bullies is not just, you know, you're in high school or middle school and you're getting bullied. It literally is everywhere. For every age. Doesn't matter who you are. And, you know, there's just so much total, absolute fuck shit going on in this world. And for people to just not show compassion or think outside of the box about things and provide solutions instead of blame, shame, and what is it called? Like, guilt perpetuation. That's not going to help anybody. Holding people accountable for their actions and proposing solutions, viable solutions, is really where the true bread and butter of life, of the good shit, of the heart and the soul lay, okay? And I'm really not trying to, like, hate on this person or anything. Everybody has their value. I really don't know them very well. I've only watched 2 of their videos. And, you know, but I'm just saying, I've seen people talk this way so many times about others. And it's like, I can't stand it. It's like, oh, they're not being, like, you know, they're not living up to my expectations of what a parent should be or what a person should be. They're automatically the most vile piece of shit on the planet. Let's burn them at the stake. Like, that's how I felt when I heard this person talking. Okay. And, you know, I could be projecting a bit or whatever, kind of overreacting, sure, but I've experienced it way too many times and seen it way too many times. It's just not okay. Alright, prompts that help someone reframe moments where exhaustion or depletion shaped outcomes. Discuss how chronic stress or caregiver burnout can impair decision making and propose community level supports that would reduce this burden. Explore the myth of the self-sacrificing caregiver and how it harms both caregivers and those who they care for. Write about the societal undervaluing of emotional labor and how this contributes to crises in families, workplaces, or communities. That's a good one. Analyze how, they're all good so far. Analyze how sleep deprivation, overwork, or emotional overloads affects safety and judgment. What systemic changes could mitigate these risks? A lot of systemic changes. Mainly the ones, a lot of them is I addressed, like, in my charter thing that I read it a few times. All right, moral injury, guilt, and complex responsibility. Prompts that allow someone to explore guilt without self blame. Examine a situation where multiple factors, personal, cultural, structural, contributed to a harmful outcome. How can society better recognize shared responsibility? Write about the difference between fault and responsibility in healing. How can communities support people who feel responsible for events beyond their control? Explore how perfectionism or unrealistic expectations can distort someone's sense of accountability. Analyze how shame silences people and prevents them from seeking help or reporting harm. Yeah. Power, vulnerability, and boundaries. Prompts that help someone understand the dynamics that shaped their trauma. Investigate how power imbalances, in parentheses, age, authority, financial dependence, social status, create conditions where harm can occur unnoticed or unchallenged. Yes, the hierarchical, socioeconomic hierarchical system. No bueno. I think I said that right. I don't know. All right. Investigate how power imbalance. I just read that. Oh my god, my brain. Okay. Write about the cultural discomfort with setting boundaries and how this contributes to cycles of exploitation or burnout. Yeah. So like it can be hard to set boundaries depending on the cultural norms of the society that you live in. You know, like it can be extremely scary. That's why courage is so important. Even though you're scared, having courage to speak out. I've gotten to the point where I'm not really scared to speak out about stuff, but I still try my best I'm trying my best to not be jumping down people's throats, so to speak, or like just blatantly calling them out and like ripping them apart. Like I'm trying really hard not to do that because I've seen people do that so many times. It's been done to me so many times. I've done it to myself so many times. And I don't feel like it's very helpful. I feel like it's more helpful to try to address things gently as you can and then, you know, provide solutions, okay? Sometimes though, like somebody needs to get fucking yelled at, all right? They do. And sometimes even more than that. They can get an ass whooping, all right? Or spirits, I don't know if I want to say that, spirit. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. All right. Prompts that help someone understand the dynamics that shape their trauma. Investigate how power imbalances, age, authority, financial dependence, social status create conditions where harm can occur unnoticed or unchallenged. Wait, did I just read this? I don't know. Did I just read this, guys? I don't know. Yeah. I just read that. Okay. I have like a major headache. I've had a major headache like all day. My brain's just like fried. I'm doing my best. Okay. Write about the culture. I think I drank too much caffeine. That's probably why I need to chill on that. Write about the cultural discomfort with setting boundaries and how this contributes to cycles of exploitation or burnout. Explore how people can be conditioned to ignore their own discomfort or intuition. What would a boundary-affirming culture look like? Actually, I don't know if I did. Whatever. All right, trauma, memory, and narrative. Prompts that help someone reframe their story through metaphor, analysis, or distance. Hold on. I need to get water. That might help. All right. So, compare two different ways of telling the same story. One from a self-blaming perspective and one from a systemic or compassionate perspective. Right, and when it's talking about self-blaming perspective, doesn't mean that you have to tell a story that you personally experienced. You could be talking a story about a fictional person or somebody in the mainstream media, the news, or whatever. You know what I mean? All right, write about how trauma affects memory, perception, or self-trust. How can society better support people whose memories are fragmented or non-linear? Speaking of all that, that's the issue I'm having right now. Explore the concept of survival strategies, behaviors that once protected someone but later became misunderstood or judged. Yes, that's like reminding me of like the whole fight or flight thing I talked about in the last video. That's like an innate response that was built into the human psyche and like the physiological system. Physiological, psychological system? Mainframe, network? I don't know. And in order to survive, and then now it's like we don't sorry, I had to pull a card real quick because I had something come through to me real quick. I had to see it. It's just funny. Okay. All right. But yeah, that was needed to survive because we had to run away from predators constantly, right? But then, like, in modern days, that fight or flight response is like demonized and like looked at as like something really bad and like you're mentally ill and so in most circumstances, in modern society. Okay. All right, next. Healing, resilience, and future building, prompts that shift focus from the past to what can grow from it. Imagine a world where the conditions that contributed to your difficult experience no longer exist. What changed? Who advocated for those changes? Oh, wait, hold on, guys. I gotta do something. Okay, we're back. All right. What changed? Who advocated for those changes? Imagine a world where the conditions that contributed to your difficult experience no longer exist. What changed? Who advocated for those changes? Write about the qualities you developed through adversity that you now recognize as strengths. I'm having ADD so bad right now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's so bad. Okay. How can we recognize ADD as a strength? I don't know. All right. Okay. Write about the qualities you developed. Okay. Oh my God. Explore the idea of post-traumatic wisdom. Insight. It allows for some comedic kind of like laughing at yourself, I guess. It's what I'm seeing as a strength right now for myself. Okay. Post-traumatic wisdom. Insights that emerge not from the trauma itself, but from the healing process. Okay, cool. Yeah. There's lots of wisdom to be gained from the healing process for sure. Propose a community initiative, policy, or cultural shift that would reduce the likelihood of similar harm happening to others. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Relationship, attachment, and interpersonal harm. Prompts that allow exploration without naming personal events. Analyze how attachment styles influence conflict, communication, and vulnerability in relationships. Excuse me, had a release there. That's what we're calling burping. You're releasing shit. Okay? Which you are. You're releasing gases, but it could also be other things. Alright? Write about the societal stigma around seeking help in relationships, romantic, familial, or professional, and how this stigma perpetuates harm. Yeah. A lot of people perpetuate that, like, seeking help. If you're asking for help, that you're weak or you're needy, you're a leech and like stuff like that. It's just really pretty awful. Granted, there are situations where, like, everything in moderation. Like, you can't just go and, like, bombard someone with all your problems, and also just not listen to their advice. And if they give you shitty advice, you shouldn't go back to them, first of all. But second of all, if you go to somebody for help, they give you advice and you don't take it, and then you continue to go to them with more and more problems, and you're not actually trying to solve the problem, you're just bitching and complaining, that's where it's an issue. Okay? Explore how cycles of harm repeat across generations or institutions and what breaks those cycles. Discuss the difference between intention and impact in interpersonal harm and how communities can hold both with compassion. Yeah. That's a good one. Oh god. See, my issue right now is I'm also just thinking about, like, a ton of different things that are getting brought up for me with all this stuff. But, like, I'm not trying to give 500 million examples, so okay. The justice, repair, and restoration prompts that help someone imagine accountability without punishment. Explore the difference between punitive justice and restorative justice. Which approach better supports healing for all involved? And that's reminding me of, like, there's, like, a tribe or multiple tribes that have, like, that system of justice where somebody that is perceived to have done something wrong goes they have, like, a meeting place, and then they go in the center, and then the whole tribe surrounds them, and they, like, basically try to build that person back up again, and, like, they try to solve the problem with, like, restoring their soul, like, restoring their good nature, and, like, figuring it out or whatever, instead of, like, there's another tribe that if somebody's perceived to do something wrong, the person that's the perceived victim of the wrongdoer gets to eat them. So, like, there's a huge difference there, right? Write about what meaningful accountability looks like in situations where harm was unintentional or shaped by systemic pressures. Granted, I could see, if someone just keeps doing the shit after, getting that restorative justice implementation, they get that treatment, and then they just continue to do the fucked up shit, then they might deserve to get the other route. You know what I mean? Maybe not to that extreme, okay? What Spirit was saying earlier was, like, tied. I don't know why. It's really not even that bad. I don't know why I felt like really. It was just in the moment. It wasn't. I didn't feel like it would be well received to say it, so I didn't say it. But I'll say it now. Spirit was saying to, like a way that somebody could be punished is, like, tied to a tree, like, for a couple nights or something like that. I don't know. That's just what I heard. Okay. Write about what meaningful accountability looks like in situations where harm was unintentional or shaped by a system. Okay. Analyze how communities can create environments where people feel safe acknowledging mistakes without fear or annihilation. Yeah. Yeah, there's a huge problem with that. People are so quick. If you point out a mistake they made or something that, like, was, hurtful towards you or whatever, people are so quick to be, like, complete denial or in total defense mode, or, like, they go into offense mode, attack, or they'll go covert attack, you know what I mean? Excuse me. They'll go, like, guerrilla warfare, like, tactics. They'll start doing, like, baneful magic on your ass. Alright. Alright, mental health, stigma, and internalized narratives, prompts that help someone examine the beliefs that shape their suffering. Write about a mental health myth that causes harm, e.g., strong people don't break, trauma only counts if it's extreme. Explore how stigma prevents people from recognizing their own suffering or seeking support. Analyze how internalized narratives, I should have known better, I should have been stronger. Yeah, exactly. I can't even think of any more than that. Form and how they can be rewritten. Yeah, I hate that shit. Okay. Next, we got metaphor, myth, and symbolic reframing. Prompts that allow someone to process trauma through symbolic language rather than direct disclosure. Choose a myth, an archetype, or a fictional character whose story mirrors a challenge you faced. Analyze the parallels and what they reveal. Write about a natural phenomenon, storms, wildfires, tides, for example, as a metaphor for emotional upheaval and recovery. Explore the idea of quote-unquote threshold moments, times when someone crosses from one identity or life phase into another. Yes. Just because you were, framed as one type of person does not mean you have to live with that for the rest of your life. You can grow, heal, and evolve. You're allowed to do that. And I don't care what anybody says, no matter what position of power they think they hold. They don't hold more power than universal law, okay? They don't hold more power than love, true love. So don't ever let anybody gaslight you or lie to you about that shit, okay? Because it's bullshit. What is that song say? I got the power. Yeah, you got the power. You got the power within you, okay? All right, revised planetary just transition charter. This is a charter for a methodology or a process to change over Earth to an eco-friendly, self-sustainable system that limits the amount of taking away the prompts that I put in was to make sure that it doesn't take. So we'll just read it. Okay. This charter establishes a global transition away from fossil fuels that protects freedom of choice in daily life, ensures no household pays for required upgrades, guarantees multiple clean technology options for every need, respects biome differences and local cultures, creates millions of dignified jobs with paid training, ensures sovereignty, privacy, and anti-dystopian safeguards, treats clean energy, water, heating / cooling, mobility, and food security as basic human rights. So, this is an example of, say, you're personally touched by a conflict that's going on in the world at large or in your nation or even your city or your town or whatever, or your neighborhood. Okay? You have the ability and the power, especially with AI now, to help to figure out solutions to these problems. Okay? And I just wanted to use this as an example of finding a solution to a problem. And also I wanted to show that all this bullshit, all this narrative about, we need oil. What are we going to do? Society's going to collapse if we don't stop siphoning from the earth. Do you understand that, oil is okay. Imagine draining someone of all their fluids, right? In their body, of all their blood. What is their body going to look like, right? You're going to have a lot of sinkholes. Logistics aside, you're going to die, okay? That's, obvious. But if we're kind of relating that as a hypothetical or whatever, a metaphor, relating that to the earth, it's the oil is in there for a reason. Maybe you shouldn't fucking take it. Unless it's spewing out on its own, then it's okay, it's the earth is giving it to you. But if you're drilling, willy-nilly, taking without consent, That's where the fucking problem is. And then it's fucking up the balance, the natural order of things, the natural balance, the natural system that the creator of this reality established. Section 1, transportation without restriction. Freedom to keep your vehicle. People may keep any vehicle they own. Instead of banning cars, the system provides free engine conversions through authorized centers. Conversion options. Choose what fits your life. Battery electric conversion, quiet, efficient, ideal for daily driving. Hydrogen fuel cell conversion for cold climates, long distances, or heavy loads. Synthetic e-fuel conversion for classic cars, rural areas, or people who prefer liquid fuels. Biofuel from waste conversion, only from genuine waste streams, no land competition. And I would say, you know, like, if you are a mechanic, you do work on cars, and you know how to do these things yourself, it might be feasible for there to be an option where you could do it yourself and then you get it, like, approved or whatever. Yeah. Biome considerations, cold, snowy regions, hydrogen and e-fuel options remain available for long-range winter reliability. I can just hear somebody saying, like, fuck all this shit, like anarchy and stuff like that. But then it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm kind of for that, honestly, as well. I'd rather that than whatever the fuck this is. But I also know that it's really just not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Like a lot of people think that it'd be the best thing ever, and it's like, you don't really understand. Like, I don't think you really understand, like, all that you'd be giving up. My ideal society would be one that's, like, ancient but new at the same time. Like a medieval, like, Camelot kind of thing, but has, like, advanced technology. Like, I feel like that would be really cool. So, okay, biome considerations. Cold/snowy regions, hydrogen and e-fuel options remain available for long-range winter reliability. Rural/off-grid, modular battery packs plus local hydrogen micro production. Maintenance infrastructure. Publicly funded repair centers, free annual safety checks. I feel like we skipped a page or something. Biome considerations. No, maybe not. Okay. All right. Publicly funded repair centers, free annual safety checks, lifetime warranty on conversion components, paid training for mechanics transitioning from fossil era engines. All right, section 2, energy systems with multiple pathways. 2.1, electricity options. Choose one or combine. A, solar where viable, rooftop community or ground mounted. Snow region adaptation, steep angle panels, self-heating anti-ice coatings. Vertical bifacial panels that shed snow naturally. B, wind, small-scale residential turbines, community wind co-ops, vertical access turbines for turbulent urban areas. C, geothermal, ground source heat pumps, deep geothermal for regions with volcanic or tectonic activity. D, micro hydro for rivers, streams, or mountain communities. E, hydrogen micro production, local electrolysis. I don't know why I can't say it. I've heard that word and I've said it many times. Local electrolysis Maybe I haven't said it many times, actually. And the lie detector test determined that was a lie. Yeah, I definitely haven't. Okay. Local electrolysis hubs powered by renewables provides fuel for cooking, heating, and vehicles. F. Battery plus thermal storage, home batteries, salt, sand, or stone thermal storage for winter climates. G. Grid as backup, publicly owned, renewable dominant grid. No shutoffs for inability to pay. Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, section 3, heating and cooling options. A, heat pumps, primary option, air source, ground source, cold climate models for snowy regions. B, hydrogen boilers, zero carbon flame heat, works like traditional boilers. C, high efficiency wood systems, EPA certified stoves, pellet systems, fully vented, low emission. D, thermal mass homes, earthship, earthbag, adobe, rammed earth, passive heating slash cooling. That's kind of house I want. District heating, geothermal, waste heat recovery, and solar thermal fields. A lot of this stuff I have no clue what it is. This is all new information for me, and I'm sure a lot of you watching, if anybody even is watching, like, I don't know, but if you are interested in this, and you feel free to look up this stuff and do research, because it can only help society and yourself to know more about these things. This is stuff that will help you survive, that will help society survive and thrive in the earth. What's that song that in my last video, the one, it's like this, the same love she gives, she requires. That's like Mother Earth. The same love that Mother Earth gives, she requires in return. And you should even give a little more. And then you'll truly learn what it is to be loved. To love and to be loved. Alright, so I just heard ego. Like, so many people have fucking ego problems. Oh, you told me to do this, now I'm gonna do it in your face even more. Like, that kind of thing, You told me that I should have a compostable toilet. Well, now I'm gonna shit it in a bag and light it on fire on your doorstep. Like, really? Okay. Baby need a hug. Alright. So, baby need to be tied to a tree for a couple days. Alright. Section 4. Cooking options. Without limiting freedom. People may choose any clean, flame, or flameless option. Clean flame options. Bioethanol burners. Cleanest, indoor safe. Hydrogen flame stove. Zero carbon, high heat. Alcohol gel burners. So I could never heard of any of this stuff. Restaurant grade, safe indoors. High efficiency wood stoves. Vented and low emissions. Flameless options are induction cooktops, electric coil, electric plus flame diffuser, aesthetic systems. Like, this is blowing my mind right now. All right, guarantees no bans on flame cooking, no forced electrification, multiple pathways for cultural cooking traditions. Yes. Section 5, water, sanitation, and waste options, water systems. Rainwater harvesting, which they made illegal, which is crazy. I could see, though, with all the cloud seeding they do with the chemicals and stuff, but as long as you have a good filtration system. Gray water reuse, which hopefully I haven't honestly even read through this yet all the way. I read through like the sloppy copies that I had to keep adding other stuff in there. But I did not read through the final. So I was gonna say, oh, okay, yeah, it's literally the next bullet. Okay. All right, so we got gray water reuse, centralized municipal systems, and this is what I was thinking, local purification hubs, okay? Atmospheric water generators, humid climates. Oh, that's interesting, yeah. Yeah, it's like in The Sims. They have these things, it's kind of like an umbrella looking thing, like a sideways umbrella. And I think it's, oh no, it's not sideways, it's like facing up. So it'd be like an upside down umbrella, and then the water like, I don't really remember. I haven't played the game in a while. But the water collects the condensation, everything just collects, and then it goes in there. All right. Sanitation options: compost toilets, incinerator toilets, biogas digesters. I have no clue what that is. Traditional sewer systems, but upgraded. Yeah, no more of these runoff, grandfathered in ones that run off into the water systems. No. Waste systems, zero cost compost pickup, reuse / refill stations, biodegradable packaging mandates. I don't know. I honestly don't know what this means. Biodegradable packaging mandates. Oh, but okay, biodegradable packaging for like food and stuff you buy. Yeah. When I'm thinking of waste systems, I'm thinking of like poop. Compost pickup, reuse / refill stations. Okay. Community repair centers. Community repair centers for your waste systems. Okay. Section 6, biome-specific infrastructure. So, snowy / cold regions, hydrogen-ready heating, steep angle solar, wind plus geothermal, sand / stone, thermal storage, EVs with cold weather battery chemistry. Deserts, solar dominance, evaporative cooling, shaded solar canopies, water recycling systems. Then we got tropical / humid, passive cooling architecture, rainwater abundance, microhydro where applicable, coastal offshore wind, desalination powered by renewables, salt resistant infrastructure. Rural, microgrids, biofuel from waste, modular hydrogen hubs. Section 7, maintenance, repair, and upgrade guarantees. Universal right to maintenance. All systems, energy, water, heating, cooking, vehicles come with free repairs, free upgrades every 10 years, 24/7 emergency service, local technicians trained and paid by public funds, no service shutoffs for inability to pay, infrastructure, regional maintenance hubs, mobile repair units for rural areas, publicly funded parts manufacturing, open source designs for transparency and sovereignty. I like that. That's cool. All right, section 8. Jobs, training, and economic security. Climate work guarantee. Anyone who wants a job in the transition gets one. And by the way, guys, if you're watching this and you're here, reading through this with me, and you don't like some of the stuff, and you're thinking because you're knowledgeable about some of the stuff or all of it, whatever, feel free to go into AI or into a document, Google Docs or Microsoft or whatever you use, and type out your own thing and talk about it on your own channel, whatever. Like, share your knowledge, and like, that's how things change in the world. Okay, anyone who wants a job in the transition gets one. Climate work guarantee. Anyone who wants a job in the transition gets one. Paid, I love that. That would be so great. Paid training, apprenticeships, technical schools, on the job training. Yeah, enough with this gatekeeping with the college degrees that you have to pay an arm and a leg for. You're not even guaranteed a job. And it's like, takes forever. On the job training, full wages, healthcare and childcare, job sectors, vehicle conversion, renewable energy installation, water systems, sanitation, agriculture, construction, maintenance and repair, manufacturing, recycling, and remanufacturing. Granted, I understand there are jobs that like do require that like schooling that needs to be like on a campus. It can't really be like on the job. For example, like being a surgeon, a brain surgeon, or surgeon general, or whatever, like things like that. Yeah, like you need to practice very much so, but you should be getting paid for that training. Well, it should depend also on your efforts, right? How serious you're taking it, how committed you are. But, it shouldn't be where you have to pay an arm and a leg. And that's like something that like society needs desperately, right? And then you only got like these richy rich assholes going in there, and they just want the title, the glory or whatever that comes with like, oh, I'm a surgeon. But do they really want to be a surgeon? Like, somebody recently was talking about this, how like somebody that worked on them was like daydreaming about some other bullshit while they're like supposed to be working on their body, repairing their body, and then they like fuck shit up. You know what I mean? Like it's really not okay. So they have this mind reading technology. They should be using it for stuff like that, because that's some serious shit. When you're a surgeon, you're working on someone's body. That's like really not okay. We're gonna call justice on that shit. Survivor's statement. Speaking truth. Your voice and evidence changes the outcome. God, I hope so. It says it's already happened. Economic redress. The population receives compensation and structural change. See if I want to pop out. Oh, a lot of them. Yeah, we're not doing all that. No, we're not doing all that. Supply chain truths. Behind the scenes, abuses of labor resources become visible. Abuses of labor. Yeah. Okay. All right. Paid training, apprenticeships, technical schools, on-the-job training, full wages, healthcare, and childcare. That is so important. A lot of times, parents, especially single parents with one-income households, they have to work full-time plus overtime and pay for daycare. Literally, daycare is astronomically expensive. Your whole paycheck goes to it. How the hell are you supposed to pay for everything else? Your rent, your utilities, food, clothes, activities for your kids to grow and learn and have cultural experiences and stuff. Like, there's no way. Everything the way it is right now is set up for people to fail, and it's just a joke. It's a fucking joke, and it's a cruel joke, and I absolutely fucking hate it. It better end soon, because I'm not laughing, and neither are a lot of people. You get all your little flying monkeys to act like everyone's cool with it. No. Regina, I fucking see you, bitch. Oh, the TV just just shut off and like reloading. Okay. was kind of creepy, actually. It was a little creepy. It was kind of cool. It was also a little heebie-jeebies moment. These, like, wicked, these evil queens or whatever, like, got a lot of trauma with them. A lot of trauma with these bitches. Alright, section... Where are we? Job sectors. Vehicle conversion. This is like too close to my face. Like, oh my god. Okay, vehicle conversion, renewable energy installation. Hold on. I had a burp, like, really loud. Alright. Renewable energy installation, water systems, sanitation, agriculture, construction, maintenance and repair, manufacturing, recycling, and remanufacturing. Funding, redirected fossil subsidies. Hold on. Alright. Polluter taxes, public green banks, wealth taxes on extreme emitters. Yeah. No increase in taxes for low or middle income households. That'd be great. Section 9. Sovereignty, privacy, and anti-dystopian safeguards. Core protections. No remote shutoff of essential services. No mandatory smart meters. No tracking of energy use tied to identity. No kill switches in vehicles or appliances. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. Local override on all systems. Open source code for all critical infrastructure. Citizen oversight councils. Whistleblower protections. Also, I would say for there to be some type of advanced AI oversight that is like community monitored. Okay. And, like, not one that's, like, able to access, like, all of the communities in one, but it's, like, sectored. Like, there's these individual ones that are, like, sectored. And I don't know. I don't know how all the logistics of this would work, but there is... Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay? Decentralization. Microgrids, local energy storage, community ownership, redundant systems to prevent centralized abuse. Yeah, see? This is what I'm talking about. Decentralization, yeah. I don't know what that means. Redundant systems? I'm not sure what that means, but you guys can look it up. I'm not looking up right now. I'm a little exhausted. Alright, section 10. Implementation timeline. Years 0 through 3, legal framework, funding redirection, job programs, begin free home retrofits, begin vehicle conversions, build maintenance hubs. Years 3 through 7, majority renewable grid, biome-specific infrastructure, universal clean cooking options, expanded transit, full maintenance workforce trained. Years 7 through 15, nearly all buildings fossil-free, circular waste systems, local food systems, hydrogen and geothermal expansion. Years 15 through 20, final fossil phase-out, legacy infrastructure decommissioned, full sovereignty and resilient systems in place. Like, if you build it, they will come kind of deal. Like, anything you can imagine is possible. You just believing will open the doors for you, and that was something. I think it was his name is Chris Witecki, and that thing episode, what was it, 98 on the Leo King that I was just talking about earlier. You know, that guy also was giving a lot of his testimonies of what he's been doing. I think he said he went to the I think I might have mentioned this in one of my other videos, was like how he was saying he had gone to the police station to write several police reports, and he said, like, you know, he wishes he had done it sooner. He probably should have done it sooner, because, like, now they're probably not going to be able to do anything, but at least, and this was after I had on camera confessed about, you know, things like what my brother, who's a cop, told me that happened when I was like 12, you know, and stuff like that. So, but anyway, yeah, so if I didn't say that, you know, if I didn't give you any acknowledgement, Chris, I'm giving you it now. Good job. Good job on that, buddy. You get A+ as well for that. Your efforts are not unseen. You know, I'm essentially no one. I'm no one, right? But if you've been following along, I'm no one. I'm everyone. I'm no one, everyone. I'm no one and everyone at the same time. And some other stuff, but I can't think of it. So, all right. So, other than that, y'all, let's see here. Let's see here. Let me finish this off. What are we gonna finish this off with? Let me do mystery. Does anybody want a mystery card? The wrongly assumed enemy just popped out. Someone believed to be causing problems is actually innocent, while the true disruptor hides behind their reputation. Yes, that's something I've been saying this whole time. Is that, you know, all these people that are perceived to be the villains are actually innocent most of the time. And then the real villain is the one that everybody least suspects. That's like Kevin Spacey's The Usual Suspects. Like, is that the case every single time? No. There are genuinely, like, good people that are doing good shit. Like, you know, but people often overlook. They often overlook, and then that perpetuates injustice. Okay. Now, let's put some love cards, okay? So pick a number between 1 through 5 if you want a love card. Otherwise, I'll see you later. Bye. I'm going to do fortunes and angels as well, okay? So you can stick around for that if you'd like. If you don't want love. Alright, so for the person you're thinking about, or just a new situation, or whatever, or just for shits and giggles. For me personally, I think this is kind of like a waiting room, and honestly, yeah, I'm not really going to say much more than that. Okay. Number 1. Let's see. What do you got? Nope, don't want that. Group number 1, Spirit. What do you... Oh, that's too many. That is way too many. Let's see what came out on top. The connection, dynamics, and relationship patterns. The slow burn, okay, so it's in the upright. So, but if it was in the reverse, it'd be stagnation or false promises. But it's in the upright, so healthy. Gradual, beautiful growth. Anecdote. A love that unfolds like dusk into night. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, we're not going to read the rest of those. That's good. Okay. Alright, group number 2. What do you got? Alright, 3 came out. So 1 you got in a reverse. The self, inner patterns and personal readiness. The mirror work, toxic, blaming others for your wounds. So you need to work on that. If it was in the upright, it'd be realizing relationships reflect inner patterns. The anecdote, the universe holds up a mirror, and this time you recognize your own fingerprints. So taking a look within, stop blaming others for your wounds. Instead of seeking blame, seek healing and solutions. You know, maybe really take into consideration those essays that we were talking about earlier, the essay prompts. Your next one is the hidden, unseen forces, subconscious, spiritual, and emotional underworld. And you got it in the upright, the hidden admirer. If this was toxic, somebody would be watching silently instead of being honest. But in the healthy is love blooming in shadows, waiting for the light. I don't really understand that. I guess it's saying, like, the person's making themselves known, but not in, like, a, So if it was toxic, they'd be watching silently. They wouldn't be expressing their love at all. And then this is saying their love is blooming in the shadows. They're not being overly invasive. They're making their love known. They're waiting for it to be brought to light. Okay, anecdote. You cross someone's mind more than you can imagine. Okay. Oh, that's cute. The self, inner patterns of and personal readiness, the awakening. And this is in the upright. So if it was in the reverse, it'd be spiritual bypassing or destiny fantasies. Healthy, seeing relationship patterns clearly. Anecdote. One morning, everything clicks. Why they loved who they loved and what it meant. All right. All right, pile 2. That was for you. All right, pile 3. What do you got? That was horrible. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna have to do this again. There's a lot of people slamming car doors and trying to disrupt this reading right now. Archangel Raphael, please enact code Mr. Brown on these fucking retarded people. Thank you. Look, how many doors do you have? Again, that was literally like 7 times in a row. They do this every single day. That's some crackhead shit. That's like seriously some crackhead shit. Like, you gotta have something wrong with you. Alright. And they succeeded with making me lose my train of thought, so. Good job! Good job, you fucking losers. I don't even know what am I on? 3? We're on 3. Even if we're not. If we already did it. I don't think we did. Again. Fucking hate these people. They're so retarded. Alright, the self, inner patterns, and personal readiness. The desire untamed. If this was in the reverse, the pursuit without discernment. Lust as escapism. Lust. Okay, healthy, sacred passion, embodied sensuality. Anecdote, a spark that burned everything once now learns to warm rather than scorch. Beautiful. That's reminding me of the song, I don't want to set the world on fire, I just want to start a flame in your heart. So cute. Alright, so that was 3, now we're on 4. Let's see how many more times they slam the door. I honestly, like, that is some serious, like, gang stalker action. Really weird. Really weird. Okay. Okay, we'll just take these because they fell out. In the upright, the connection, dynamics, and relationship patterns, the turning point. If this was in the reverse, it'd be manipulation or pressurized decision-making, healthy, a meaningful shift in direction. Anecdote, something happens and suddenly the relationship cannot stay the same. Okay. Something's gonna happen. The self, inner patterns, and personal readiness. The self-sabotage. If this was in the reverse, which is not, pushing away what you want. Healthy, recognizing patterns before they repeat. Anecdote, every time love gets close, the hand reaches for the exit until one day it doesn't. Last but not least, the self, inner patterns, and personal readiness. The awakening. Oh, we already did this for the other one. Toxic, spiritual bypassing your destiny fantasies. Healthy, which is in the upright. Seeing relationship patterns clearly. Anecdote, one morning everything clicks, why they loved who they loved and what it meant. So there's going to be something involving like a pattern that you recognize and you're not going to repeat it. Something happens and suddenly the relationship cannot stay the same. Something about volunteerism in the reverse. Questioning reality frameworks or belief systems in the reverse. Future of the internet / fourth industrial revolution. I don't know. Take that for your own personal situation. Okay. All right, number 5. It's like almost like waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm just waiting to hear the fucking car doors slam again. It's like, any more? Any more times? Are we done? Are we done? Get in the van, we get out of the van. We get in the van, we get out of the van. If you know, you know. Only real fans know. Number 5, what doth be in your heart, keepeth it alive. These cards are slippery, man. Nothing will come out for you. Maybe you don't have love or something. I don't know. Whatever. Let's see. Okay. We got destiny, outcome, guidance, soul contracts, and timelines in the reverse. The soulmate thread, toxic, idealizing a connection, healthy, kindred spirits meeting across timelines. Anecdote, your souls recognize each other before your minds do. And so it's in the reverse, you're idealizing a connection. So spirit's saying you need to stop doing that. It's a soulmate connection, but you need to stop idealizing it and just like treat them like a regular human being and stop being a... I don't know what you're doing, but... The hidden unseen forces, subconscious, spiritual, and emotional underworld, the shadow desire. Healthy, raw, honest passion. It's in the upright. If it was in the reverse, possession, obsession, unhealthy longing. Anecdote, someone wants you more deeply than they admit even to themselves. Alright, so yeah, I think you're okay. Let's do some Astro Dice for everybody. Pick a number between 1 through 5. Pause the video if you want to. Or if you need to, I mean. Alright, number 1. Oh, it's like spinning for a while there. So something with a portal opening for you. Sagittarius in the North Node, in the 3rd house. North Node, Sagittarius in the 3rd house, okay? You can look that up. I'm not doing that right now. Alright. Number 2. Sun in Cancer in the 7th house. Sun in Cancer in the 7th house. Definitely something illuminating relationships, family, household, emotions. Okay. Number 3, you got Uranus and Virgo in the 10th house. Unexpected plans related to work. That's what I'm getting. Number 4. Mercury and Scorpio in the 8th house. Communication coming in regarding something involving something very transformative. It could be a death in the family. It could be a birth. It could be something involving a intimate relationship you have. It could be an inheritance. It could be all kinds of stuff. Volunteerism in the reverse again. Role reversal between aging parents and adult children. You are dissatisfied. So some type of change related to your life. Deep transformative change. Communications coming in for that. Okay, number 5. You got South Node in Virgo in the 8th house. So something about you focusing more on like your values related to like spirituality and dreams that you have. Yeah, I don't know. Look it up. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Alright, let's do fortunes 1 through 5. Number 1. We got a couple. Everyone is rooting for you. Don't give up. And this is like a different one. It's like a mini one. Don't miss out on your chance to win big. Aw. Today is a day to focus on one thing from beginning to finish. So have confidence in yourself. Everyone's rooting for you and focus on finishing one thing. Maybe you've been having a hard time with finishing stuff that you started. All right, number 2. What do we got for you? We got 3. If the world seems cold, kindle a fire to warm it. Find a peaceful place where you can make plans for the future. I love that. Good luck is a hop, skip, and a jump away. Hop to it. Oh, that's reminding me of my mom's crossword puzzle that I shared in my last video. With the, what is, the rabbit did it. Hopping. Crap, I flopped. What number were we on? 1, 2, 3. I think that was 3. Okay, 4. Was that 3 or was that 2? Oh my god, my fucking brain. I'm just gonna say this is 4, and if I did skip you, we're gonna do 6. We're gonna do an extra one. All right, treat yourself with the same dignity and respect you give others. I'm so bad at counting. It's like embarrassing. I don't really care though, but I'm just saying it's kind of embarrassing. The architect of your destiny is yourself. I'm really not that bad though, like at math and stuff. Like I can like figure shit out, all right? But I'm just bad with like there's too much. My brain processes too much at the same time. Yeah. That's all I got. All right. So treat yourself with the same dignity and respect you give others. There you go. I'm like being self-deprecating. I'm trying not to though. The architect of your destiny is yourself. So maybe you're self-deprecating as well. So try not to do that. All right. And then number 5, and then we'll do 6 just for extra, in case I skipped 3. In the ocean of knowledge, only those who want to learn will see the land. And when you can't naturally feel upbeat, it can sometimes help to act as if you did. Oh, that's like a fake it till you make it kind of thing. Oh, I remember the missionary David that I talked about in other readings. in some other reading. He said that to me once. Number 5, let hatred turn into friendship because of your existence. 4 basic premises of writing: clarity, brevity, simplicity, and humanity. Oh, that's an interesting one. I think we've gotten that one before, but I don't know. I just find it interesting. Okay, and then number 6. I wish this little drawer came out so I could, like, mix these up a little better, because I can't. There's so many in there. Look up in the sky tonight. Have a moment to yourself or for yourself. Okay. It is better to attempt something great and fail than attempt to do nothing and succeed. So if I did do 3 and I didn't skip anybody, this is for everybody. Regardless, maybe go step outside and look up in the sky if you haven't in a while. I personally haven't been doing that because I haven't been smoking or anything. So I haven't, and I live in like, I don't really have like, where I live it sucks, okay? I can't, like, so it's not ideal to like go outside, but I'm gonna try to do it anyways. All right, and then let's do the angel cards and then we're done. All right, pick a number between 1 through 5. These are like really hard to shuffle. You can't really shuffle these that good. They're so cute though. I need new ones though because these are kind of ruined. They're vintage. They're not ruined. They're vintage. Okay. They have a story to tell. All right, number 1, you got acceptance and risk. Acceptance is coming out in the reverse. You're not taking a risk that you need to take. It's like you're hesitant on it. It came out like sideways, like vertically. You're like hesitant on taking a risk that you need to take involving what, Spirit? Empty nest, grief, and identity loss. Something like... Oh, my nose is so itchy. Yeah, something involving that. You need to take a risk in order to get accepted into the gateway of heaven, so to speak, or whatever you subscribe to. Number 2, you got humor. The angels are supporting you with laughs and giggles. All right. Number 3, what it be? You got expectancy. God damn, why is my nose so fucking itchy? Expectancy. They're expecting you to purify yourself, and you're not. Number 4. What shall we implore? I don't know. Number 4. Where is the door? Where is your door? Come on. Purification came out crossing, or like, again, somebody needs to purify themselves. And trust fell on the floor. Number 4, trust fell on the floor. Maybe you need to explore purifying yourself a little more if you want to open your door. Number 5. What do you need to keep your soul alive? Number 5. Come on. Come on with your bad self. Abundance. Like this. Abundance, so... It feels like it's coming at me, so like maybe, you know, the abundance is coming towards you. They're trying to give you abundance, but you're like, maybe you're not inspiration. Like, they're giving you inspiration to get this abundance, that they're trying to give you abundance via inspiration. Okay? But you have to be willing to accept the inspiration to achieve to attain the abundance. Oh, shit. And when what just happened, I just flipped. I went to go put the cards away, and then a lot of them flipped out of my hand, and 2 of them are showing inspiration and healing. So, like, this inspiration is healing, and it's going to bring you abundance, okay? And then, you going to do these ones? I don't know if I really want to do these ones because their names are so hard. Let's do strategy. We'll just do strategy. Yeah, let's just do strategy real quick. Alright, 1 through 5. Strategy. To keep your ass alive. If you want to be alive. I don't know. If you don't, then you can leave. I don't know what to tell you. Alright, number 1. It's like sideways. Alright, so you're wavering on the upright and the reverse. So legitimacy and moral framing. Upright, build and maintain moral authority so actions are seen as just. Reverse, losing moral clarity makes your movement appear self-serving. Example, Gandhi framed the Salt March as a moral struggle against unjust laws. I'm not going to explain any of these. I'm just reading them, and you can pause the video, rewind, and then go do your own research on it if you feel so inclined. Okay? Number 2, what it do? What it do, number 2? What strategy is for you, number 2? Two in reverse. Symbolic leadership and personal example. Hypocrisy or abuse by leaders quickly legitimizes a cause. Example, moral authority of leaders like Gandhi and MLK strengthen movements when actions match their words. Maybe you got the ones with the purification. I don't know. Back channel diplomacy and deconfliction. Reverse, secret deals that exclude stakeholders breed suspicion and betrayal. Example, secret negotiations have open pathways to ceasefires, but lack of transparency risked later collapse. Exactly. Okay. Transparency is key for freedom, for you and for me. Integrity, transparency, integrity and transparency. You don't have to tell everyone every little fucking detail of every move you make. That's not what we're saying here. But some shit, yeah, you definitely need to be more transparent about. Okay, number 3. You got decentralization versus centralization, organizational form. In the upright, match structure to objectives, decentralized for resilience, centralized for coordinated campaigns. Example, decentralized networks and centralized leadership both appear across historical movements. Choice shapes outcomes. Yeah, so like you need a balance of this type of stuff. Yeah. Discipline and internal accountability in the upright. Clear codes of conduct preserve moral standing and cohesion. Freedom movements that enforce nonviolent discipline sustain broader supports. Gene Sharp's analyses. I think we're on number 4, guys. Oh my god. I gotta like start fucking doing check marks for fuck's sake. Okay. Don't swear. If someone is listening, little kid is listening to this, do not swear. It's not good for you. Okay. Nobody should be listening to me around their kid, though. Anyways. Well, you know what? I do got some golden nuggets to share. But, you know, you really shouldn't be. You can teach your kids stuff that I'm saying if you really don't want to, but... Or whatever. Do what you want. I really don't. It's not my business. Alright. Narrative, control, framing the story. Upright. Shape how events... See, that's the thing, too. Like, I do not like telling people what to do. So, you know... For example, when I had mentioned about the smoking on camera thing, that was very uncomfortable for me to do. And then I had given examples of specific people that were doing it, that I care about. And, you know, that was not easy for me to do either. I do not like seeing, I do not like telling anyone or making it even remotely appear as if I'm telling someone to do what to do. When it comes to things that are like a personal choice, but like, you know, that specific thing is affecting other people, especially if you're a parent, and whether that be a pet parent or a human parent, okay? Especially if you're a leader, community leader of any sorts, you know, I just wanted people to know, like, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting other people too. But I do empathize and I understand how difficult it is to stop that particular thing. It's extremely difficult. But I just want to say, I have faith in all of you. No matter who you are, if you are struggling with that, I have faith in you that you can overcome it. If I can overcome it, you can too. Because trust me, this bitch was hooked. Alright. Narrative control. Framing the story. Upright. Shapes how events are understood to win hearts and minds. Example, civil rights leaders framed Selma's March as a moral crisis that compelled federal action. Moral economy and fair distribution. Upright. Hold on. Post-revolution reforms that included land or labor reforms eased tensions in some historical cases. Oh, one thing that just came up for me that I really wanted to specify was anybody who's planning any type of spiritual events in October, I want everybody to take a good look at them, because I've noticed that every October there is usually some type of really fucked up event that happens. I mean, if we're all even here and shit hasn't been reset, I'm like, please, like, please. But, you know, if we are all still stuck here in hell, I just would like everybody to be aware of any type of events, especially where religious, quote unquote, religious or spiritual people are meeting up for any type of retreat or event. And because it's giving like the witches vibes from Roald Dahl. Every October, especially around my birthday, something really fucked up happens, I've noticed. Okay. Number 5. Sorry, number 5. I just kind of put a sour mood there. At least I could feel it. It's a sour mood, but that just popped in my head, and I needed to say it. Holy crap, you got a lot. Alright, number 5. You got nonviolent direct action in the reverse. Unplanned or violent actions erode public sympathy and legitimacy. Example, widespread nonviolent tactics in India during the independence movement would be like in the upright. Okay. You also got parallel institutions, building alternatives. Poorly run parallel structures can discredit a movement. So you got that in the reverse. An example in the positive, I guess, would be opposition groups that ran community support networks in authoritarian contexts. See studies of civic institutions. So in the upper it'd be create institutions that meet people's needs to demonstrate viable alternatives. And don't just pretend you're doing that to get tax write-offs. Actually do it. You also got electoral strategy and political integration. Translate movement energy into durable political power through fair elections and institutions. Example, movements that built electoral wings and institutions achieve durable policy change. That was in the upright. You also got moral education and leadership in the upright. Train leaders in ethics, negotiation, and nonviolent discipline. So, you know, obviously there's probably like, there could be quite a few people here, or you're wavering on decisions on moral versus integrity-driven decisions. Because it's coming out here kind of like 50-50. You know where you fit. Put yourself where you fit. In the upright, train leaders in ethics, negotiation, and nonviolent discipline. Examples, civil resistance training programs based on Gene Sharp's work emphasize preparation and discipline. We also got in the reverse, international solidarity and diplomacy. In the upright, it'd be leverage external attention and institutions to increase pressure on abusers. And you got it in the reverse. Whoever you are, misused external ties can be portrayed as foreign meddling. Example, international pressure and sanctions influenced outcomes in late 20th century authoritarian transitions. And then we got in the upright, truth-telling and transitional justice. Upright, honest reckonings with past abuses restores trust and prevents recurrence. That can be done by what we talked about in the beginning of this video. 143. I just like had a throat spasm. 143 on the clock, on the timer, is significant. It means I love you. Spirit saying I love you. Okay? I'm talking about the essay thing, not the volcano. I don't know which one did I talk about first? I'm not sure. Example, truth commissions and reparations programs have aided national reconciliation in many contexts. Sometimes talking to me or listening to me is... Yeah, I'm gonna stop being self-deprecating. I really gotta stop that shit. Okay, let's stop it. Alright, guys. That's the messages I have for you for today. I hope it helped. If it didn't, oh fucking well. If it didn't help, you're not listening, because I said a lot of helpful shit. Actually, we'll say that. Let's be honest. All right. Anyways, have a good one, or don't. That's up to you. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.